you looking for a podcast about the best mustachioed vampire?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh. Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How are you today?
I'm wearing 2 sweaters.
It is quite the day for that.
It's pretty
will
cold.
Say. Oh man, I haven't been out there recently. I can't go out there right now.
Why not?
Maybe I could. So I've been okay. So basically, you're so cold because there's so snow today.
There's so snow. Man, I'm glad that it didn't get as...
and you're in the worst spot too. You
Yeah.
actually are in the epicenter of the most. I just heard that on the news.
God.
Denton was, well, how much did you get?
So it was supposed to be like between 8 to 9 inches is what they forecast. And so far we haven't gotten that much. I think so. It was bad this morning. It was coming down in like big furry buckets.
Yeah.
And we measured after like the big flakes. Did you guys get huge fucking flakes?
Yeah.
Like the size of dinner plates coming down out of the sky. So after that mess had stopped, we went out and measured with the measuring tape, and I had 3 inches on the hood of my car. So
okay,
it was pretty decent. And then it like rained and sleeted a little bit and knocked it down some, but then it snowed again. So there's just a mix out there.
Yeah. See, so you are at about where I was, but the last that I measured, I was at 3.5.
Okay.
But I did hear that the Denton area got up to, they did get to 6.
My God.
At some point.
Yeah, we're supposed to get more overnight,
nuts.
which I'm not happy about. But
yeah,
I'm supposed to go to Arkansas this weekend because my sister-in-law moved, and we're supposed to like help her get into her new house. But I really, we're not going to be doing that if it's going to be doing this.
It's going to be totally fine. No, it's going to be gone by like Saturday morning. Completely.
I hope so.
No, it is. They were like, it's only not going to be so gone tomorrow because all this has to fully melt.
Yeah.
And it can only do so much since it's already cold. But Saturday, like, it's gone. But quit moving stuff. Stop it.
I know. I don't want to move.
Only move your own stuff.
I'm tired of moving.
Nope. So what? 35? And I've officially resigned from helping anybody move.
That's fair.
No. You know what? I'll give you... I will help you pay for a mover.
Okay, yeah.
But that's it. No. No, I mean, we did just help some people move not even that long ago.
Really?
Yeah, but like, nobody needs to move their own shit. Nobody needs to do that.
I'm tired of, like, I never ever want to move again. And moving's hard. It's hard on the body. When you hit your mid-30s, it's just like you could tweak something and then just be out for like 2 weeks, and it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I dropped a whole treadmill on myself, and I don't want to do that again.
I do recall that. It's just not worth it anymore.
No, it's not.
No. If I ever move again, I'll just buy all new stuff.
Yeah. Fuck all this stuff. I don't need it.
Just leave it behind. I'll just start again.
There's so much, honestly, that we left when we moved. Like,
that's how it works.
I just didn't want to move it twice.
You purge so much shit, and then you go, but how do I still have this much?
Yeah.
And where was this stuff?
I know. Where was it?
Yeah, so I just cleaned out like a couple more boxes. Like, this room is open right now. So the room that I'm recording in was still super packed from May.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I just cleaned it out, and there was this box that I just took stuff out of, and I was like, that's my fucking GameCube.
Oh my god.
Where was that before? Like, where?
Yeah.
What nooks and... The nooks and crannies that we find to store the weirdest things in. You know what I mean?
It all finds
too much.
a place to live, and it stays there and collects dust until you have to move it again.
Pretty much. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, see, you said that, and I'm so... that's why I hate dusting when you have so much shit, because you gotta move every single item, and then you gotta, like, replay... Like, I perfectly laid this out once. I don't want to do it every week.
Do it again.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. And I got the air purifier, and I guess it's not big enough because it ain't helping enough.
Oh, really? Man, we bought a really
No.
nice air purifier. I'm gonna have to get the brand for you because it was like, I think $100 on Amazon, and it's
Okay.
so good. We have our sunroom, and we put all the cat boxes in there, and
Yeah.
all of the like cat dust was just in the air from the litter boxes,
Yeah.
and like we were laying on the ground in a sunbeam and just looked up and saw all the fucking dust in the air, and I was like,
Oh,
we're gonna
dude.
die in this room if we don't get a filter.
If my fucking mom was here, she would tell you, like, I'd be in the car and be like, I need a tissue. And you pull the tissue from the thing and you just see all the
Yeah.
spray. I would legit hold my breath.
Yeah, it
And
goes
wait
into
for it
your
to go away.
lungs. Like it's
Do you know
weird.
how many times I've pulled out a tissue and like shaken it far away from me just to get
I
all that
know.
shit off of it? I
Because
do
like
that all the
I'm gonna
time.
be putting it on my nose and mouth where I'm breathing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we got the air purifier and it like totally the difference was absolute. Like there's no more dust in that room. Like a sunbeam
Okay.
cuts through the air so clean.
Good. See, I need bigger ones again, but now there's like more shit in here now than there was before. So I don't know where to put like a huge one again.
Yeah,
I'd like to get the big ones again. All of them died.
They
Every
died?
single one of them kaput.
The one that you farted
Well-
into.
No, that one still works.
Okay,
Somehow.
you gave it an
No.
immune system.
All the ones that were left in this house died because of all the smoke.
Oh yeah.
And I mean they was working overtime, but like 3 of them died.
Damn.
And I still have this one, and I'm just like, well, now it's so old. When you get on Amazon, you can't buy the filters for that one because they
Oh.
have a new model. So now there's fucking new filters. So I was
Yeah.
like, maybe I'll just get a new one. And I paid $150 for that bad boy,
Shit.
and now they're $99. So
Yeah.
like the newer model is $50 cheaper. I was like, maybe I'll just get a new one. Maybe I'll just start over.
It's
But
a good
then what?
excuse.
Two years from now, there's a new model, and those filters are gone.
Right.
Maybe I just don't do the Mookas.
It's the age of upgrading.
Maybe I go with a name brand like Honeywell,
Yeah.
Shark, somebody that will stay around a while.
Yeah, I think the one we have out there is Shark.
See, I've looked at some Sharks. See, every time I go to like Costco and shit, I'm just like, air purifiers. I just like touch them, but they're so expensive there. Those are like $700 and shit.
Fuck that.
And I'm
Why?
like, ugh. I don't know.
What do they
And I mean,
do?
And most of them, okay, so the tall tower fans?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are air purifiers like that. And I'm like, you're just as big as the tiny square one.
Yeah.
You're just longer. Like, you're not really doing more.
It's not more surface area. It's just stretched out.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But I would like to get a couple more. I did just get the one in our bedroom hooked up because we got those lights for the TV.
Yeah, the ones that
And
go
the
on
lights for the
back.
TV. Yeah. But every single one of those plugs are the big plugs. So the fucking power strips, you
I hate
plug in
that.
2 of them, power strip is used up.
Yes.
So I had to buy one that has like plugs on the side and the
Mhm.
top, so I could finagle all the different pieces of the puzzle.
I feel like we as a society can move beyond the big ass plugs that you can't plug into a power strip. Like, what's
Yeah.
stopping companies from putting that brick in the middle of the cable? My laptop
Yeah.
does it. You know?
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
put it in the middle of the cable so I can plug my shit
Exactly.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is wrong with
What's
that?
happening? There's
Why
got to be
not
some
just have-
technological reason, right? Like, they're not purposely just being like, fuck power strips. There's
I
got to
bet
be a
'cause-
reason.
Because they're like, well, it's easier to manufacture
I don't
this
care.
giant butt rather than go, hey, let's like put it in the middle of the cord here. I
Just
don't know,
put it in the middle.
but I hate it. Speaking of Amazon, I want to tell you about this.
Tell
It
me
has
about
nothing
it.
to do with Amazon,
Okay.
really. So I got Taylor one of those like galaxy projector light things.
Oh, fuck yeah. I want one of those so bad.
This one's okay. So it was one of the more highly rated ones, but it does have a big problem.
I'm being influenced by the Govee one. Is that the one that you got?
No.
Okay, it keeps showing up on my
No.
TikTok, and I want it so bad.
Show it to me, because maybe. Well, let me tell you about this one, and we'll see if we run into the same problem.
Okay.
So this one's like basically a whole little base. It's like a whole stand. It sits somewhere and just shines at the top, right? But it's only going to cover the entire surface area of your ceiling if it was in like the middle of the fucking room.
Oh.
Who is going to keep that in the middle of the room?
Yeah,
You're going to
that's
put it
dumb.
on a shelf. So it was like this quadrant had like a galaxy on it or some
Okay.
shit, right? So I do understand why she was like, I'm not really into this one. So we did find some where you can like angle it. So you could
Okay.
put it in a corner and then direct it outward into the room. That makes
Yeah.
more sense. So we're looking into one of those. But I had to take this one back to Amazon because we didn't want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to a Whole Foods.
Oh, man. I've done that. I probably went to the same Whole Foods that you did, trying to return an Amazon thing.
Probably not. This was in Allen.
I don't remember. I remember I had to go
It was
fucking
like-
out of my way.
Okay.
But
So went to Whole Foods, and I'm just doing the return, but I'm in a huge line, right? And I'm just purely people watching, waiting in this line.
yeah.
Why are people so fucking angry about every single thing in this world?
You know, I watched. Do you want an answer?
A little bit.
I watched a TikTok today that was like a person. It was one of those like two perspective things where she was talking to herself, but she was two different people, and she was
Okay.
like therapizing herself about the current state of the world.
Oh, you sent me that one.
Okay, yeah. And it's basically what it is. Like, we're all so hyper aware of everything going on because of like the way that you were just experiencing the news so fast that you are kind of grieving a little bit for everything. Like right now, LA
Yeah.
is on fire, and I'm focused on that in my brain, and I can't stop watching videos of it being on fire. And then also like we're getting the snow here, which isn't that big of a deal this time, knock on wood, but it was a huge deal in 2021, and I'm still just like hyper vigilant that that's going to happen
Yeah.
again. And then, you know, the politics of everything. It's just like everything is happening all the time, and the collective emotion that everyone is experiencing is basically just one huge grief. And
Yeah.
we have fucking nowhere to put that. So we're just kind of carrying it as a society. And anger is, of course, one of the stages of grief. So that's what a lot of people are just like lashing out with right now.
No, I was just running into racism and sexism.
Oh yeah. See, that's that's what's causing the grief.
There's a different. Yeah, I know. So I'm in the line, and by the way, that whole grief thing, it makes a lot of sense. That
Yeah,
was a very good TikTok. I enjoyed that one a lot.
It hit me
Thank you for
hard.
sending me that one.
You're
I mean, it makes sense. It's good. Because I loved how she was like, we've always been feeling it since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
And it's like, true. So I get in the line. I mean, I was a little mad, but I didn't do anything angry because this lady got in line behind me with her kid that kept fucking like ramming his face into my back.
What?
Yeah, it was weird. She like kept going like, don't touch people in front of you. And he's just like, okay. And then he like, I guess wanted to see the package in my hand. So he just like kind of like grabbed and looked around me at one point. It was real weird.
What the hell? Did she say?
I just kind of stood there and she was like, fucking stop. But that was about
hate
it.
children so much.
So then I was a little weirded out because I think this is delightful. I really found it refreshing that they do that. But I'm also in 2024 or 2025 now,
Yeah.
where
hopefully.
now this feels weird post 2020. But they have a little section up at the front of the store, Whole Foods, that says a free treat for your kids. And it was just like a whole bunch of cuties, like the oranges and shit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's delightful. Fucking
That's-
free fruit for kids to just have and snack on. Like, one, it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's free form, so you can come in and, do that. That's great. But
And
it was
they're in
also
their own
just
little-
in the front of a store in a giant, they were in like dog bowls, like up at the front of the store. And I'm like, hey,
Well, they come
we're
in their
all
own like
walking by,
wrapper.
touching them. I don't care. There's people and you're touching them and people are walking by. it's right next to the fucking Amazon waiting line, and you know some dude's probably ripping ass right next to these oranges from time to time.
God.
Like, I don't know. In a post-COVID world, just a basket of fruit in a supermarket doesn't make me want to have one.
Yeah, I feel that.
Didn't like that. So anyway, we were in the line for a really long fucking time. And there's this older gentleman in front of me.
Okay.
And he's getting visibly upset. Visibly upset.
Like old men love to do.
I know. But so I don't understand what this does for you. He just like, he's standing there and then like he like steps out to look like around the line. And then he keeps going like, he's just like doing that. And I'm like, looking at what's happening doesn't make this fucking faster. You know you have to be here and just fucking wait.
He's just putting on a play for somebody who's looking at him.
I don't care. I'm not going to validate you. I'm not going to side with you. You're pissing me off because I'm just like, why are you making such a display to try to get noticed? No one's going to be like, oh, he's upset. You can cut these 10 people in line, sir. It's not going to fucking happen.
It's having his main character moment.
I was not into that. Like, I don't like it when people are so like, well, if I look at it, it's going to change how this is operating. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. If I
Stand
act
there,
with disdain, someone will fix it.
keep your eyes down and just go, fuck, I'm going to be in this line for 20 minutes instead of 5 like you thought.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
Behave. How hard is it? Like, everyone
just
can
gonna
take a
be
lesson from the English, you know? Just queue up nicely.
Yeah, fucking queue up nicely. I'm going to use that shit forever. I'm going to yell that at so many people. No, queue up nicely. I should have yelled that at that old man.
Yeah, you should have.
So, and I get it, because after we did turn the corner, there was a lady up front that, so I only return things to Amazon with the QR code where I don't have to put it in a box and I don't have to do the label.
Uh-huh.
So wherever I go that I can just give you the product, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Right? That happened to be Whole Foods for this one. So I'm standing there, and so the lady is like, oh, here's the QR code, and she shows it. The lady would scan it, and she was like, no, I don't think that's the one. And she go, oh, okay. And I swear she just kept showing her the same QR code, and it kept not scanning. So she was holding up the line. But hey, man, she didn't know what was going on. That does suck, but we got to eat that shit now.
Yeah.
You know, we got to queue up nicely.
Gotta do it.
So that happens. I get up to the front. I took less than 5 seconds because I had my QR code, which was right. She goes, bloop, thank you, sir. I go, cool. And I turn around to leave. And then this guy walked in right in front of me. And where their Amazon line is right next to where they do the, like, mobile order things where they, like, bag it all up and then, okay, they're outside. And then they walk out.
Uh-huh.
So while I was waiting, I had several workers go like, oh, excuse me, and come in to either grab stuff or leave to go take it out.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal. I was queued up nicely.
Easy peasy.
Right? Well, I start walking out, and a guy's about to get in the line, and someone comes, out of the line with a bag of stuff to go take out. And he, like, slammed on his brakes. You know what I mean? Like he didn't just, like, slow down he, like, stopped.
Oh my God.
And then just, like, side eyes her as she walks by. And he does, like, this slow, like, look, and then, like... and then he comes around and then, like, whips around behind the lady in line. And he's, like, pressed up against some random lady.
Jesus.
Right? So I was like, okay, I don't know if he's upset because that lady walked in front of him or if it was because she was brown.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking know, and I can't know, but you were acting like a dick nut. You're pissing me off. I had such a bad experience with people while I was queued up nicely in this fucking line. And it just really rubbed me the wrong way that people go out in public and just act like such fools.
Yeah, man.
Why?
I swear the fuse got cut so short after COVID. Like, people don't know how to fucking act in public anymore. And it sucks because I feel like there's just like two camps of people. One group that just don't know how to behave, don't know how to queue up nicely. And then a second group of people that are so mad at the people that don't know how to behave. that they just overreact.
Well, that's me. I'm so mad. But I didn't react though.
Yeah, exactly. So you kept
I saved
your
it for a
composure.
podcast.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do in this day and age. You
know
save
what?
it for the podcast.
I was, but I am like equally as mad now as I was then. I was afraid like, oh, that was like 4 days ago. I'm not going to be that heated, but picturing that guy stare at that lady when she walked by just doing her job, like that really, I wanted to just like dead leg that dude.
Man, I want to pick a fight so bad. Like something within me lately.
People love doing it too.
Yeah, I would love to go out in public and fight somebody. Like I feel it coming. I feel like I'm going to go to jail soon.
I know this one's a little rough, but did you see the one where this lady, like all this got caught on a Ring camera, okay?
Okay.
She slams on her brakes with her car, like right in front of this house. So the Ring doorbell is just recording this whole thing. And she just gets out of the car, and then this car slowly kind of pulls up behind her. And she gets out and just like runs up to the driver's door, and she starts yelling like, "You were on my ass! You were on my fucking ass!" And she's going nuts, right?
Okay.
So the guy gets out of the passenger side and walks up to her, and she goes, No, she was on my ass. Your little bitch was on my ass. And blah, 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 blah. So then you hear like the lady in the car go, "Just get back inside. It's fine." And he turns around to leave, and the lady that's out screaming fucking cold cocks him with his back turned. She like boxed his ear, right?
Oh,
and
no.
he turned around. She's like 60 years old.
Oh,
this
no.
lady.
Oh, my God.
And he picked her up and body slammed her on the ground.
Jesus.
And then they got in the car and drove away.
There needs to be studies done.
And
on, like,
then she's sitting there yelling for a person. So I guess she's yelling Montez. I couldn't tell what she was saying, right?
Okay.
But so she's crying for Montez, which I guess is her husband. And then all of a sudden, another guy pulls up. There's like a time lapse, right?
Mm-hmm.
He pulls up, and she's sitting in her car just like, like this. And he walks over and goes, "I told you to quit yelling at people on the road." And then it ends. And I was like, oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I was kind of on the body slam side. Like a little bit, because that was a lot of attitude.
I feel like this is a hypothesis.
I'm gonna crack into this.
Let's crack
Hang
into
on.
this. I'm like actually heated now.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
I'm going to tell you about my beverage here in a moment, but let me finish this thought. I feel like there needs to be a study done, and I also feel like this is an American problem. I don't feel like this is happening as much in other countries, if at all.
No.
Like, everyone else knows how to behave. Americans are just like the ones with the most COVID, and we're the ones who are the most enraged at shit.
I mean, yeah.
But anyway, a beverage. I've just cracked open a nice Diet Coke, but what I also have is this beautiful glass with just a little fingerful of non-whiskey at the bottom.
Okay.
It's a whiskey alternative.
Okay.
Not sponsored, just passionate. It tastes like whiskey. It's so fucking good. It's from a brand.
Okay.
It's called Ritual. That's what it's called.
Okay.
They have whiskey, gin, and I think they had rum and or tequila. And I'm like, I don't know about a tequila alternative, but I feel like the gin would be really good.
I don't know how you do it. I just don't enjoy drinking, man.
I have loved the flavor of a whiskey and Coke since I was
Whiskey
far too young to be drinking them.
Me convulse. Like I literally
God.
go I tense up every fucking time.
I love this combo. It's so classic to me, and I'm just
Now see, as a combo, maybe.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Over Christmas, my aunt had gotten a salted caramel whiskey.
Ooh.
And
Whoa. Sorry, the loudest pour ever. I'm not peeing.
No, do it. Nice. So they cracked it open. My uncle took a sniff and then told his daughter, my cousin just goes, "Hey, go get 2 more of these." Before we even had any of it. And then they poured a cup for everybody, and it was very good. Every single drink I had made me go like fucking Steve Carell, the Office face, that whole thing. Every time the sip, and I go like that every time. So anyway, I thought Taylor would like it because she goes, "Oh, I love a good whiskey. I love the burn." Right? And I was like, "Oh, you're too intense for me, but I'll get you some." So I went to get it. They didn't have any, but I found a cookie dough whiskey.
Fuck yeah.
And so Taylor's been like having a nightly cookie dough whiskey. Big old thing, ice cube, and she just sits there with her book, just all, drinking, a little like fifth of whiskey or whatever. I don't know.
Classy. I've got a friend who's like super into whiskeys, and he has, I think, a cookie dough whiskey as well as a peanut butter whiskey, and
yeah, they had the peanut butter one there too.
Yeah, so he's very he's let me sniff them, and I'm like, this smells like I would drink a whole bottle.
It's weird because I do like tequila though. That doesn't give me the same gut reaction.
That is,
yeah, I like tequila. That's delicious. I love that.
Ugh.
But I still don't even I don't have any of that shit. I'm just a Dr. Pepper guy.
Yeah.
I never crave any of those other flavors. Just these 23.
I think it's like, I like bitter stuff and I like herbal stuff, and that's alcohol.
Okay.
Like, you can't get bitter and herbal in a soda unless you're getting like some kind of craft fancy soda with probiotics, and it costs $7.50 per can.
Oh, we need to find Liquid Death's new soda.
Oh, we do. I want that so bad.
I don't know where to fucking. It's probably Whole Foods.
Probably Whole Foods.
That's where I was getting the lime seltzers for a while.
Yeah.
So they might have it, but we need to try that. That could be good. I wonder what their Dr. Pepper alternative is. Was that a little too much fake whiskey?
I just inhaled some carbonation.
Okay.
Yeah. So, speaking of stuff that makes us mad.
Okay.
Get ready to get pissed.
Okay, cool.
I'm on a medical adventure, as I always am. So I alluded to it a little bit last show. I've been going through some medical bullshit and just wanted to air it out here on the show. So
let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I, for my entire recorded life, have always had this situation where whenever I stand up, especially if I'm standing up from laying,
okay,
my pulse will jump up like 150 to 200%.
Pots?
And I just see, okay, so we're getting there. I never thought it was unusual because I've seen plenty of memes on the internet like, oh, I stand up and I black out a little bit. Oh, that happens all the time.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was like just a general human thing where like you stand up and your heart rate spikes real quick and then you have to like normalize before you go about the rest of your day. But that's not a thing.
We would be built so horribly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like going to school where everybody has to sit and go, okay, because like, wouldn't they be like, all right, time to get up to go to class. Everybody normalize.
Yeah. Like I'm not optimized for my day. I don't know what is going on with my body, but I literally have recorded data because I've been wearing a Fitbit for like over 10 years now.
Yeah. Okay.
So
interesting. Okay.
It's okay. Every single time I can show you my charts. Let me send this to you actually so we can talk about
this. Oh my fucking God.
This is amazing. Data. So this is like
Kelsey data.
Yeah. This is a normal day for me. And this is send it in the general chat here.
Yes. Okay.
So you'll notice.
Woof, dude.
I thought this was normal because I've never seen anybody else's heart data. I've just always had like, this is mine. And that's the baseline that I am just dealing with all the time. So I was like, this is normal.
See, I wish my watch would keep more of a like this because mine, I think
you just get those big fat bars.
You know, I've never really fucking looked because it doesn't record. Data. It doesn't record it a lot because I always keep it on battery saver so that it'll last 2 days.
Yeah.
And so it only records my heart rate when I ask it to.
Okay.
So it's not recording it in the background.
I've
Okay.
talked to a person with an iPhone. I've talked to a person with a Samsung watch now to look at their data, and they get a different type of chart where it's like these big fat bars basically that cover an entire hour, and the bar will show you the minimum and the maximum you hit within the hour.
That's
But
what
if
I
you go,
got. Yep.
okay, so in Fitbit, you get a much more detailed response
Yeah, that's cool looking.
because my Pixel watch is measuring all the time. Like it's just on heart rate monitor happening every second
How
of
long
the
does
day.
that live?
About 2 days.
All right. Okay. So anything that's not a Fitbit is going to get about 2 days. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I hate that.
I much preferred my Fitbit, honestly. I didn't wear this thing for 2 months because I was like, oh, why bother? I put it on and it dies and I forget to charge it.
I know. Okay.
It's annoying, but I'm back on the wearing it wagon because of this stupid problem and I wanted to track it. So this is my normal day and I can walk you through it. So I'm asleep. You can see me get up to go to the bathroom at 4 a.m. because there's a little spike in my data there, right?
Okay.
And then you can see me at 8 in the morning, get up out of bed.
Yeah.
And then I go from a pulse of 60 all the way up to almost what looks like 100. The chart's not super clear.
Okay.
Like,
Well, yeah,
it just-
because that's 116, so at least close. I'd say even maybe 90 when you first got up,
yeah.
and then it spikes
then-
up right after. Okay.
Yeah. So that's me waking up, getting out of bed, and then I drive to the doctor. So it goes down because
Sitting
I'm
down.
sitting.
Okay.
And then I stand up when I'm called into the doctor at 9:30. That's that other spike.
Yep. Okay.
And then I have my appointment where they have me like do a couple of different things. So I went to a cardiologist is what happened.
Okay.
Let me rewind. So I first talked to my my primary care doctor. I was like, "Hey, I have this thing cuz it wasn't on my radar at all that it's a weird thing to have. Like sometimes I just need to lay back down. And if I lay on the ground, I get normal within like 2 to 3 minutes. So that's my solution. It's easy.
Oh, that's a long time, Kelsey.
I've been living my whole fucking life like this, and I'm mad that I'm finding out that this is abnormal. I mean,
Podcast movement making a lot more sense to me now. I can't recall a time where I thought, but like you said, it's so normal. You probably were just like, yeah, I'm at 120, but who gives a shit right now?
yeah, like sometimes I'll just be sitting there like at a cool 115, and I don't feel it.
I was going to
It's-
ask what your average heart rate is.
So my average on this day was 71 beats per minute. It
'Cause-
hangs out like low 70s.
Yeah, I'm in like mid to high 70s sitting down.
Really,
Dude, my heart rate is going all that I'm awake.
man.
And then like when I'm asleep, because I only really wear my watch to read my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that I usually get down to like 59 or something.
Yeah, that's about average, I think, for
Yeah.
unfit people in our age
But
group.
then I'm at fucking 80 all day long, just fucking do, like
That's the Dr. Peppers.
probably. That yeah, probably.
So yeah, I've always had this situation, and Richard knows about it, like, because he's been with me for half
Yeah.
of my life, so he just sees me like deal with it, and he's told me before like that's not normal, you should get it checked out, but I didn't know it was like so abnormal, and
Okay.
so he was scrolling as you do on your phone through his feed, and he got a video that was like, "Do you have all these symptoms?" And it lists out like basically a diary of what my day-to-day life is like. It's
Yeah.
like, does your heart rate spike really high whenever you stand up from a laying position? Does your heart rate go wild when you get in the shower and it's too hot? Do you have to like lay down after a meal because all of your blood is rushing to your stomach?
Okay.
If all these apply, then you may have POTS. And I'm like, what the fuck is POTS?
Yeah.
So I go on a Google journey, and it's literally, so it's postural. What does POTS stand for?
Yeah, I definitely don't know what it stands for, but I know the word.
Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Okay.
So basically, it's a chronic condition that causes an abnormally fast heart rate when you stand up. I didn't know this existed. So I go down and I'm reading it, and it's literally just like everything that I've experienced my entire life. And it's
Okay.
like, this is what I like. This is my day to day. This is bizarre. I thought this was normal, and now I'm learning it's not, and I'm learning that it has a name. So I was like, okay, let me go to the doctor and see what she thinks. And I didn't go,
Okay.
I hate to go to a doctor and say like, I think I have this syndrome or whatever,
Yeah.
because I don't want them to know that I'm out on the internet Googling around and then
they'll discredit you right there.
yeah, exactly. So I didn't go in and be like, I have POTS. I went in and I told her my symptoms. And she was like, that's definitely concerning. So let's get an EKG right away and let's do a bunch of blood labs. And so
Okay.
we did that. EKG
Yeah.
comes back totally normal. Blood labs all come back totally normal. So I'm not dying. So that's great. At least not yet. But after that, she was like, yeah, so like, because we don't have any answers with the stuff that we did today, let's also send you to a cardiologist and
Okay.
see what the cardio will say about it. So she recommends me to this female doctor, and I'm like, great. So I call the cardiologist to get an appointment, and they're like, well, that doctor's on maternity leave and she won't be back for like 3 months. I was like, okay, well, do you have any other doctors? And they were like, yeah, we have somebody who has availability this week. And I was like, great, because it's a heart problem. So I'm like, I feel like I
Yeah.
need to get this resolved pretty quickly. So, or
Fair.
at least checked out. Like I know that obviously it's not killing me because I've been dealing with it forever and it's not, I don't know, it's manageable.
Yeah.
It's just unusual and it feels bad. So I want to get it at least looked
Your
at.
quality
and I
of
wanna,
life is still great. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Not that
I just
concerned.
like to be able to put a name to it and see if there are treatment options for it.
Yeah.
So I go to this cardiologist and it's a male doctor.
I was gonna say, is it a dude?
It's a dude. And usually for every appointment that I go to, Richard is with me to advocate because I have found in my life that whenever I go to the doctor, I am not believed or it's something I say is taken the wrong way or ignored.
Yeah.
And I just don't get the treatment that I feel I deserve. So Richard is there at all my appointments to advocate and to like help me remember, like also remember to bring this up because you said this and I want you to make
Yeah.
sure you get the care. But he was unable to go because he wasn't able to get away from work for this one. So it's just me and this dude doctor. And they do a couple of tests. So when you get your blood pressure taken, have you ever had your blood pressure taken in a long sleeve?
No, only the cuff.
Yeah.
What
so
the fuck?
no, like
Oh.
a long sleeve shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do they do it over top of the long sleeve shirt?
Yeah.
I've never had them do it over top of a sleeve.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done that often because I'm usually always in t-shirts, but I think, yeah, they have because I couldn't really get it, a sleeve pulled all the way up for a long sleeve.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just do it there. Plus you don't want to pull it up and like constrict anything.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I thought it was strange. Like I was wearing a sweater and I was like, I should have had the foresight to wear something under the sweater so I could take this off, but I didn't. So they did the blood pressure over top of my sleeve.
Okay.
And it was like not a digital one. Like it was the manual, like pump it
Yeah.
up and then listen for the heartbeat with the stethoscope situation. So the nurse does that and they do a test where like, let's do your blood pressure while you're sitting down and then we'll take it while you're standing and then we'll take it as you lay down.
Okay.
And if there's any changes in blood pressure, it's indicative of like some other disease or whatever, orthostatic hypotension. So they took all those pressure readings. Those were all fine. And they were the same. So like no change. And I'm like, okay, cool. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, well, it sounds like it's just vasovagal. This is so hard to say.
What?
Vasovagal syncope.
Okay.
And that,
Okay.
I feel
let's
like
Google that now.
this is what you've experienced whenever you see blood and you're like, oh no, I'm going to pass out.
Yeah.
It's basically like so many people have that when they see blood or when they see a needle or when they see something that they have a phobia of. Like I have that when I see blood or needles. And
Yeah.
I know what that feeling is. And it's different than what I'm experiencing. It's not like the increased pulse. It's definitely a drop in blood pressure. Like you feel nauseous. You feel like you're going to
Yeah.
faint. And like you start to get tunnel vision and shit. And I told the doctor, I was like, no, I've experienced that before and I know what that is. And this is different. And he just kind of was like, well, I don't think it's anything else. I think that this is probably just the symptoms and maybe you're just getting confused.
Just tie it down, Kelsey. Let's
Yeah,
just tie you
tie it
down.
down. So,
Oh my god. Okay.
and that's basically where the story ends. Like I got
If this fool hadn't have said like, "You're just confused," I would just been like, "Oh, he's just not a good doctor," and I've just like brushed it away. But now it's like, "Oh, he like took it there." You know what I mean?
I don't even know if he said confused, if that's just the way
I
that
don't
I'm
care. I don't
reframing
like
it in
him
my
now.
head.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
that's the way that I felt when
That's
I
what
left.
he said.
Yeah. I felt like he was disregarding my symptoms and he was just like brushing off my concerns because he didn't even like want to look at the data I had on my phone because I was like about to pull out
Yeah.
my phone and be like, my Fitbit says. Because I feel like when you have 10 years of hard data in the form of charts and graphs,
Yeah.
it should be at least looked at because you can see like this is the day I went to the doctor. So 8 a.m. heart
Dude,
rate spikes.
They even tell you, some doctors say, go get a Fitbit to have data because
Yeah.
they want it from you.
Right. So I didn't have a good time with this guy.
Oh my
And
God.
I had a follow up with my regular doctor today, who, by the way, is like the best doctor I've ever had. She's amazing. She listens and she offers advice and like solutions that are not just like, let's get you on a pill. It's
Okay.
always like a holistic medicine type thing. She thinks about the entire human being instead of just like, what's the problem? How do we solve the problem?
Yeah.
So I was talking to her and I told her all this and I was like, I really didn't feel listened to. And she was like, yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry you had that experience. And then she was like, well, I know that you have the Fitbit with the data and that's really good, but you should also get a blood pressure monitor for home. So that's going to be
Okay.
my next step is you can get like a little blood pressure cuff basically that you just like hook onto your wrist.
We've
and
got
she's
one.
like, oh, really?
Well, because mom and dad used it and shit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, can I use it? And I'd use it all the time.
They're pretty cool. I like them. Like my mom
Yeah.
has one actually because we were using it for my dad too. So I'm going to go on Amazon or whatever and buy myself one of those, but it's just
Can't
kind
be
of
that
like,
expensive. I think they're even at Walmart.
yeah, probably so. I mean, Walmart has so much medical equipment these days,
Yeah.
but like it sucks that I'm having to do my own kind of,
Diagnosis?
yeah, my
And
own
testing?
diagnosis and theory and stuff. But Richard was super pissed when I got home because I told him everything and he was like, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Like, and then he was mad. He was like, I wish I could have gone with you. And he was just like stewing on it. And he was like, there needs to be an organization. I'm going to start a fucking fund where it's just like a bunch of dudes and they'll go to appointments with women whenever they need a man in the room.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
I hate that this is so common that women feel so unseen and unheard at the doctor. And it was a young guy too. I was like, we're on the same team, but I don't know.
Dude, Taylor went to her gyno for something.
Mm-hmm.
Who's a lady? And she sloughed her off too.
Really?
Yeah. Because I
It
was
just-
like Taylor said something to her and she goes, okay, well, back to what I was saying. Like, well, I wanted to tell you this is the route we're going. Nothing's going to change. I've already chosen my diagnosis, my route of treatment, and just like
Yeah.
shut Taylor down, like right there. And I was like,
Yeah.
shouldn't she be on your side?
You would think. I mean, I think it has changed medicine, like the fact that we have access now to WebMD and just the whole wide world of the internet where we can go in and be like, what are my symptoms? And then you get a list of possible conditions. I know that there's like definitely a sect of humanity, whether they are doing it on purpose or doing it just by the way of human nature, where like you read a list of symptoms and you're like, oh, headaches? I get headaches sometimes. And you start to correlate
Yeah.
stuff. And I mean, you could take,
Hypochondriacs.
yeah, you could take any condition into WebMD and type in like a symptom at all. And it's like, oh, you have cancer and you're dying and you're going to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like when an entire condition's Wikipedia page just makes your whole life make sense, it's like, oh, shit. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've stalled out for the moment. I'm going to get another
You're gonna
appointment
wait
with a
for
different
that lady to come back.
I'm,
The maternity.
I'm going to
lady?
get a different cardiologist. I don't know who,
Okay.
but I'm taking Richard with me and I'm going to show him my Fitbit data, him or
Good.
her, whoever we get. And I'm just going to lead it with it and be like, look at my heart rate. It does this when I stand up. What do you think that means?
Like, watch me right now, and then turn on your watch, and then stand up and just fall over.
Pass out.
Yeah, and then he'll be like, "Damn, well, it's probably just a migraine." And then he'll shoot you on your way.
It seems like hysteria to me.
Oh my god.
It just so.
I hate that. I hate that for you.
It's exhausting.
It
to
is
be a
because
woman.
like I think it also you are I think the chosen person to make like the medical system keep running. Like okay, so we were talking before we even got on about medical system stuff.
Yeah.
And how like it's in bed with this and like food and blah 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 and all that stuff. But like you know what? What if we just pick a whole demographic and just constantly tell them that they don't have stuff and they just keep coming back and paying us more money?
Yeah.
This is great.
What if we just did that to like half the patients?
Dude, I've gotten so many TikToks. Have you ever gotten those TikToks? And I know you've bound to have seen one where like it's some lady and she's like, I've been going to the doctor for this condition for like 2 to 3 years and I finally got my diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I finally have reached the end of what I'm looking for. And like the relief that they feel that they have to go tell the world and put it on TikTok.
Yeah.
But like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's why TikTok, dude, I know now we're transitioning into TikTok kind of, but like I feel like I've learned so much shit in the past 4 years from this app than the previous 20 something years.
I know. And it's
honestly,
it's ridiculous. And I'm like super pissed at where the congressional hearing is for it at the moment, because it really does look like we're going to lose access to TikTok in like T-minus 10 days.
yeah.
And the fact that that's happening the day before the inauguration, it just feels pointed and like the start of something more sinister.
Yeah. But Lemonade works, right? I guess I should get that. Like,
but it doesn't.
Everybody that I know has gotten it so far.
But the problem is that like they're shutting down ByteDance, which is the parent company of TikTok and Lemonade and CapCut. So we will lose access to all of those apps.
Okay.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
Well, I guess I'll just be reading more then.
I
No more
learned
scrolling and learning.
I learned about the war in Ukraine on TikTok like 30 minutes after it started.
Dude, that's literally my fucking go-to for why that app is important. I was like,
Yes.
I saw the war happening a week before I saw it on the news.
I would know nothing about the genocide in Palestine if it wasn't for TikTok.
Yeah.
The fires in California. The fact that like during the 2021 ice apocalypse, we were learning about like what communities had power and didn't.
Did we talk about this when it happened, that during Thanksgiving last year, the reason why people were like rushing through to like meet their marks and stuff was because they were people protesting about Palestine and Israel there. And they never let it be shown on the on TV. They never mentioned that it was happening. It was the most Hunger Games bullshit. Like people were like showing the cops like knocking people down like right behind a band that ran up to be on TV, and people on TV never knew. But like somebody like got fucking tackled right in front of the people that I'm gonna watch do this routine now, and they never said a fucking thing about it.
Yeah. It's going to be
presented.
So much harder to get information.
How would I fucking know when to shit in the river for it to wash by the Olympics if not for TikTok? You know, important information.
Yeah.
That's going to be a wild time. Like literally 4 years of intense, eye-opening worldview.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
I hate it.
That got heavy.
Sorry, guys. You
But
want to
also,
take a break and...
yeah, I just hope that everything works out for you. Definitely keep us posted with that bullshit, because if you are going to get a POTS diagnosis, there is totally stuff that you can get that does help manage that from spiking and shit. Like It's
Yeah.
totally a thing that you just won't do that anymore. Well, I don't know. I think it can be helped, but it's never gonna like. You're never gonna see like a vast difference and be like on someone else's level that has never experienced that before.
Yeah. I just want, like, even to be able to put a name to the condition is going to be helpful for me emotionally, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's a. I'm trying to, like, put words to the feeling. I don't know. It, like, just to know that, like, something is different about me that makes it harder for me to live, and, like, to not have an excuse for it. Not that I'm making it up an excuse, but, like, you know, if
But
I'm
now you can be like, I'm not making it up. It's this. You
Yeah,
can
exactly.
point other people to a thing. It's not really for you. It's for all of us. So you can go, hey, shut up. Look, this.
yeah, it's not like that's exactly it. Like, it won't be just a, why are you weak and stupid? Why do you have to lay on the ground after you stand up? It's going to be like a,
You weak and stupid. Most like anime insult ever. This guy, why you weak and stupid.
so that's where I'm at emotionally about it. Like, just to be able to put a name to it and say, like, I have a condition and that's why my life has been different. That
Yeah.
would be helpful. But also medication would be helpful too, or a treatment plan or some kind of management system. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll try anything.
I feel you. So yeah, let's take a break. Let's lower that heart rate.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you think you know what happened to me? Look, I'm back, and I'm about to unearth all the secrets in Old Cove. So do a little refresher on Season 1 and get caught up before Season 2 arrives. Trust and believe. You don't want to miss what's coming.
Welcome to Severed, a podcast suite that offers a rotation of content centered around true crime to paranormal cases. Severed True Crime covers high to low profile true crime cases like the Westfield Watcher, The Staircase, The Keepers, and other binge-worthy favorites on Netflix. Severed Paranormal peers into the corner-moon windows of the Amityville Horror House, the Conjuring House, and other mysterious cases, locations, and urban legends.
I'm Harry Chambers.
And I'm Drew Hudson. We want you along for this investigative and haunting roundup. Scare you soon.
So, everybody on Discord kind of knows about this, but I'm going to sing some praises. Not sponsored, super passionate.
Okay.
Barnes & Noble edition.
All right.
Man, I was taken care of at Barnes & Noble the other day.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said on the last one, I got all 14 of the Berserk Deluxe editions, right?
Right.
I've been cranking those things out, man. I'm
Okay.
a little surprised at myself. Like in 4 days, each one's like 800 pages. So like
God damn.
almost like 1,600 pages in like 4 days.
You've read
Right,
4 of them in 4 days?
No, I'm in the third one because it's
Okay.
like 800 in the first, 800
Right.
in the next, and then
That's
I'm like
1,600.
a
That's
little
math.
way through the third one. I can't get into. I am into it, but it's like I guess because of the cold and the snow and stuff. Like as soon as I get in bed, I'm just like, oh, I'm warm,
Yeah.
sleepy now,
Instant
And
coziness.
yeah, like for real, like one page, I'm like, oh, my eyes are crossing already. Like fuck,
Sleepy.
what's happening? So I pulled out the third one, and they have built-in, what do you call it? Bookmarks. They have the little ribbons.
Oh, yes. I love a book with a ribbon.
Yeah, so I have it here
It's
for you.
beautiful. Is it a black
right.
ribbon? I wish it was red.
Yeah, so black ribbon, drop it in there, do the stuff. So it's always in the middle, and I was just like opening the books. It could fall to it. I could pull it out, bring it to the front, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I was doing that, I got to the ribbon, but then there was like another section that was like poking out a little bit. And I was like, oh, what's going on there? Why is that one not flush,
Yeah.
Go to the page. It's fucking ripped out. Fully fucking ripped out.
A whole page?
Yeah, the whole page was like completely severed top to bottom and just laying
my God.
in there.
What the fuck?
So I was like, oh no. I have thrown all the receipts away immediately because I
No.
don't fucking keep receipts.
Yeah.
Oh, trash. And most of the times, if they offer it, I tell them don't print it.
Yeah, I don't care about a receipt.
Yeah, save the world. I don't need that tiny piece of paper. I don't want it. So I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? I was like, do I just buy another one? Like, they were 45% off, but I mean, I'm only buying one at full price. That wouldn't be horrible. I was like, I don't know what to do. So Mary got in on it, and she was like, it does say that when it's a sealed book, they do have a different set of return options or whatever.
Okay.
So she was like, I would just call them. So I was like, okay, like, I don't know what to do. And I just had that fucking Amazon interaction, right?
Oh, boy.
So I was like, watch me be the best boy and be so nice. So called Barnes & Noble, and they're like, hello, what can we do for you? And I was like, all right, this is a wild one. I was like, but I just bought a book that was sealed, and when I opened it, one of the pages inside was ripped. My problem is I don't have the receipt, and I just want to know what are my options. And she went, well, let me tell you, there are options. And I was
All
like,
right.
oh, I like to
Love
hear
options.
that. This is great. You're being so helpful already. And she was like, okay, do you don't have the receipt? And I was like, no. She goes, do you happen to have our membership? And I was like, I do. And she goes, oh, we store all your purchases based on your membership. So technically we have your receipt. And I was like,
Boom.
cool. So I can just bring it? And she was like, just bring it. I was like, fuck yeah, this is going to be the best day. Hang up. That was when they opened. And I didn't get to go till I was off work. So I wasn't going to talk to that lady. I mean,
Yeah.
what are the odds that the person I called at 9 in the morning is going to be there at 6 o'clock that night?
For her sake, I hope not.
You know? So it was like, oh, well, you know, that was her solution. What if I get in there and this person goes, fuck no, we need the receipt. They have a whole different solution, right?
Yeah.
So I go get in the line. I put my book down and I was like, okay, so this is mine. I had bought it. Like, I'm not buying it now. I'd bought it, but there's a page ripped inside and it was sealed. So then I opened it up to the page and she goes, oh, well, that's a doozy. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she goes, and it was sealed. I said, yes, it was. And she goes, okay. Well, let me scan it. And I go, okay. And I'm so glad that I had this thought beforehand. In case you notice, it's very clear on the back.
Yeah, you took the sticker off.
How do you do the ISBN number thing? You can't scan it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I too smart for you. I kept it. Do you know why I even kept it?
Why?
Because I'm trying to use, like, not Goodreads, because I heard Goodreads sucks.
Oh, okay.
Goodreads is apparently bad, and they gave money to MAGA stuff and
Oh, really?
stuff.
I'm going to uninstall that app.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff about it, right? But anyway, we've been trying to find like a new book recording app thing. And so I'm trying one. It's really not great, but it's what I got. And I was like, I want to be able to scan these.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd already opened up the first one, so I had to like manually type it in. So I was like, ooh, I'm going to keep this sticker for all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Plus, I checked all of the other 14 to make sure no other pages were ripped, so I could return
Good.
all at once.
Yeah.
So I had to open all 14 of them. They're all open now.
Oh, my God.
All the stickers moved into the front, and then I realized that this piece of paper that's in the package...
I was going to say, it's already got a barcode on there.
Well, yeah. Well. So this I would have thrown away because it's just a loose piece of paper that's pressed against the back and then sealed up.
Yeah.
And then when you take this off, there is the sticker.
Okay.
But I don't want the sticker because why would you want that on the leather? So
the
I
nice
just put it back
hardcover.
here.
Yeah.
But then I realized these all have different writing on them. Like it's
Oh.
like a different point in the story. Like,
Oh,
based
no.
off of last time, here's where you're at. And I was like, oh, I'll just keep those in the back, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have that for the first one because I opened that 2 years ago and threw all that shit away. So don't have it for that one. But anyway, I got to scan all 14 of them into my app now because I kept those. So she goes, "Oh no, there's no barcode." And I go, "Oh, I got you covered." Open it up to that sticker, and she goes, "Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I'm sorry." Oh, fuck yeah, that ISBN code. I mean, she does work at Barnes & Noble, you know?
Yeah.
So she scans it, and she goes, "Yeah, there it is on your profile, so I'll just do a refund, and then we can go from there." And I said, "Well, I bought it on the sale, so can I just exchange it?" The whole reason I went to that one is because they said they had that copy. Because if I return it, I'm going to get 30-something bucks, but then I'd have to go buy it for 50-something bucks.
Right, and that's not
No,
cool.
I want to exchange, right? And she goes, "Oh, well, let me go see if we have it." She goes back there. They have it. She has to do all the scanning stuff, and then she's like, "Uh-oh, we're running into a problem here. I can't, you know, I can't get the prices to match up. Like, I can't make it a full exchange."
Why?
She's like, "Did you use, like a coupon or anything?" And I was like, "Nope, I purposefully have been saving all the rewards points and stamps and shit for Taylor to get books with. Like, I bought a whole bunch of Berserk books, and then Taylor gets a free book and stamps. You know, like, she can use those." So I was like, "No, I didn't use that." And she goes, "I'm off like $5, and I can't do the exchange." And I go, "Well, I did buy it on the sale, so the whole thing was, it said it was a third off, and then I got the 10% for the Barnes & Noble membership." And she goes, "It was a third off?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know what that percentage means. Like, what does 1/3 mean? Does it mean 33? Does it mean 33.33? 33.5? I don't fucking know." And she goes, "Oh, it did say 1/3 off." I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Okay, we do 34%. And I was like, "Oh, nice to know for the future."
There you go.
She types in this 34%. It matches to 0. And she goes, "There's your new book." And I just fucking walk out. Easy peasy. That whole story took longer than the actual thing took.
That's a good exchange.
But, like, I just walked in. It was very nice. They were very nice. They just took it back, said, "Yep, that one's fucked up." It gave me a new one. And then I was thinking, I guess they don't have to do that. Like, at any point, someone could have been like, "I just don't feel like doing that for this customer."
I guess.
And doing it. That's exactly what that doctor did to you. "I don't feel like listening to this customer."
That's true.
That's how a lot of people operate.
Patients are customers.
But then I was telling my mom, because we were talking about it, and I was like, because I am a firm non-believer in the customer is always right. I do not subscribe to that at all.
No way.
And I
Nothing worse
used you
retail?
as prime reference.
Okay.
Wait till we get there. You're going to be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that
so
shit."
excited.
Because I said, like, I don't believe in the customer's always right. And Mom said something about, like, "But I mean, yeah." And I was like, "No, but we were taught to believe that." I was like, the reason we all act the way we act is because we were led that way.
Yeah.
I was like, how does the world not become? I was like, because I could have easily walked in there and just thrown the book on the counter and said, "I want a fucking new one." You know,
Yeah,
I
if you
could have
were
done that
rude.
shit. But a lot of people do it because it always gets the result they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I called that one lady. She said, "That's an easy return." Could have walked in, and another person makes it difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to expect. But if I'm rude, I always get the result I want.
Yeah.
Right? And we're taught that. We're trained as customers. The meaner you act, the more you're going to get what you want.
I hate that.
And I said, but we were given that option. We are given that option. I was like, dude, the fact that somebody could bring a used Thanksgiving dinner plate, wasn't that you that had to take that back?
I don't remember
Wasn't that
that.
you? Oh, someone at Dillard's, they brought in a fucking Thanksgiving platter with the turkey shit still on it.
No.
And Dillard's had to take it back.
I hated the return policy at Dillard's. The amount of times that I knew a material that I was returning was like old because we don't carry this anymore, because it was like a year and a half ago that we carried that bedspread. And they're just like, I hate it when you as the employee are trying to obey the return policy and you're like, we can't return this because you don't have the receipt or whatever. And then the customer raises enough of a stink that the manager comes over. Well, I want to talk to your manager about it. And then you get the manager, and the manager's like, I'm so sorry. My stupid, shitty employee is such a fucking dick. We'll return it immediately, and I will kiss your toes about it. Like, I hate that.
Yeah. So I was like, this is the product of what we built, Mom. And she goes, you know, that's kind of true, because she ran... Because my mom lived in North Carolina for a long time when she was younger, and she managed a clothing store in a mall, right?
Okay.
And she said one time, this lady came in and just like throws this item of clothing up on the counter and goes, I want my money back for this. And my mom goes, oh, well, it's clearly used. It stinks. Like, it smells horrid, right? And also, the tag on it is JCPenney, so it's not our product. And the lady goes, I don't care. I fucking want money back. And, like, it starts getting heated, and so the manager comes over and goes, well, what's all the commotion? My mom goes, she wants me to give her money for this. It's not our product, and it smells like shit. So he goes, but our policy is we take anything back.
That's insane.
And she goes, if you want it returned, you handle it, because I'm not touching that smelly piece of shit. And my mom like walked off, right? Mom was a boss, dude. But so, anyway, I was like, that's the premise of the customer's always right to me, is to retain customership, right? I said, but in this case, we didn't even retain it. She bought that from another fucking store in the first place.
Yeah, that's just pure idiocy.
You just handed money to somebody that already handed money to your competitor.
That's ridiculous.
They're not coming back to you. They're going to use that to go to JCPenney again. Like, that's what I'm like. Do we not think that shit out?
I mean, the customer is thinking 3 times more than the employee or the manager ever will, I think, because it's just about how you can get the merchandise returned. I'll tell you this. I returned a white elephant gift. We went to a Christmas party and for Richard's company, and got like a shitty pair of headphones that neither of us wanted. It's like a $40 pair of headphones, and we didn't have a receipt, of course. But we looked up like, where are these headphones sold? They're sold at Target. Great, we're taking these to Target. And they were just like, you want store credit for them? We were like, yeah. So, I mean, you can return anything anywhere if you try hard enough.
You at least went to where it came from, you know?
Yeah,
so
I didn't like go to Macy's and be like, somebody give me money for this.
Yeah, like their like economy cycle stayed the same. Like they got $40 for the product. They still have $40 for the product.
I mean, I don't know if they bought it at Target or not.
Well, who cares?
Who cares in the long run?
But still, like, I was just like, what an easy thing. I was nice. They were nice. That's how it should be. But
what a pleasant interaction.
It never works that way. But if you are listening, and you are the person that I remember getting a fucking turkey dinner platter back to Dillard's, I think about that all the time. And it infuriates me that that's
so
the
gross.
world we live in. But then, did you hear about this one? This guy bought a play set for his children.
Yes,
from Costco,
I hate this story.
and they're grown, and he returned it to them. And
yeah, because he's like, I'm done using it. And they gave him, like, it's like a $2,000 item because it's the whole ass play set. And he just brings in, like, this weathered wood and shit in pieces. Like, I'm done with it.
My kids were raised on this.
And now I'm done with it, and I don't want it in my backyard anymore. So I disassembled
stay
it.
richer, man. Like,
it's the most insane behavior. Quit rewarding that shit. Like,
That was a $2,000 investment for him. That was not a purchase. That was an investment. He went, hey,
It's a loan, basically.
I'm going to get this back 18 years from now.
It's ridiculous.
I'm going to hang on to this receipt.
But you know that the phrase, so the customer is always right, is only the first half of the phrase. Do you know the back half?
Don't you fucking love how much we fuck these phrases up? Like the blood is thicker than water bullshit?
Yes.
Go ahead. Hit me because I don't know it.
The customer is always right in matters of taste. So,
I
like,
have heard that. Yeah.
if a customer wants a blue shirt, even if they look ugly in it, you have to sell them that blue shirt.
Yes.
If they want you to put cookies and vinegar on their Subway sandwich, if they pay for it, that's fine.
That's fine too. Yes. But to make that sandwich, eat half of it and go, I'm full, I'd like a refund.
Yes. You can't do that.
No. You've already fucked up this world with that sandwich. Live with it. Anyway, all this to say, a very easy return. Check the page. It's not ripped. And it looked like a straight up printing error because it wasn't smooth. It was like it had been ripped in the machine or some kind of something.
Yeah, you
Very,
posted a
very
picture of it to
weird.
the Discord. It is very weird, like a mechanical rip.
So then I was scared because Mary was like, oh, I've heard about all kinds of issues with these deluxe editions.
Oh, no.
And I will admit, because I did read that they like crop the pages a little too much. So like they zoom in on these pages. And
Yeah.
there was one page, flip it, I go to read on the left. The first letter of this word was cut off on the page.
No.
It's like I know what it says, but like that letter wasn't fully on there. And I was like, well, I mean, is what it is. And I moved on with my life, you know.
Yeah.
Because it does look a little inconsistent with like formatting, I guess.
That sucks, though. Like, for deluxe editions, they should be pretty pristine.
You would think, but nothing is taken care of as much anymore.
That sucks.
So anyway, I had a fucked up edition, got a new one, very easy. The world can be easy if we allow it to be. We just don't sometimes.
Well, that's good shit. I want to end this episode with a bit of a miniature Friday roundup because I've been playing a
Okay.
game that I really like and I want to talk about it.
Okay.
So, this game, Path of Exile 2, it was originally supposed to release like super late in 2020, but
Okay.
it was delayed because of COVID-19. It's produced in like it's outsourced to several companies. So like New Zealand worked on it, China worked on it, and then there's like other companies just kind of all over the world. And they were all delayed, you know, because COVID, etc.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time in the works. So finally, just this past month, it was December 6th, 2024, it came out. So it's
Ooh.
out on, it's out on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, as well as Xbox One, which I'm like, interesting. They put it on the Xbox One,
Weird.
but not the PS4. But
Okay.
yeah, so it's basically, I would call it a Diablo 4 clone, but like better, but also
Okay.
worse. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
It's insane in the way that they do characters. So I call it a Diablo 4 clone because it is like a top-down, like hack and slash style thing where you
Dungeon
have like
crawler
certain,
thing?
like a dungeon crawler with like randomly generated stuff and like quest lines. It's very Diablo-esque. It's all fantasy and the same type of vibe and everything. So very familiar. And it does a lot of the same stuff that Diablo does. Like the skills and the classes all feel very familiar. Like they have 12 planned classes. It's in early access launch right now, and it's $29.99. So if you guys want to get in on the early access, I'm having fun with it for $29.99. I think it's worth it. So the 3 classes, or the 6 classes it has right now are warrior, monk, mercenary, sorceress, witch, and ranger, which are all pretty self-explanatory. They're going to introduce a bunch more, and I'm like, what are you guys going to introduce? Because how many different directions can you go? Like, it's pretty. I feel like the character selection for fantasy games is pretty limited. Like, there's always the element of like adding race to your character to like change the way that they do certain stuff. Like, are you going to have a dark elf ranger? Or are you going to have just like a standard human ranger? But this game doesn't do race or anything. It's just class. So there's no character customization at all. You just like get your person and that's your person.
Okay.
Which is fine. There's not, I don't know if they're going to plan to introduce cosmetics or if it's just going to be as it is for now. You basically just get loot and you wear the loot and then you look like the loot. So no real
transmog.
Yeah, no transmog, no cosmetic anything at all. They did have, I've seen people walking around with like fancy pets following them. Like somebody had a space cat and I was like, where the hell do you get that? Because it is online. Like you can see other people in the towns and stuff. So
Okay.
There's definitely a way to do cosmetics. I think you have to pay for it. And some of the fucking bundles for this game are so expensive. Oh my God, they're crazy. Let me look up some of the prices for these because I was sticker shocked. Okay, so Path of Exile. Okay, you can be, this is fucking crazy. This is so stupid. You can get like points to spend in the store and like, you know, some pets and some skins. It's all digital goods. All of it is digital, keep in mind. So Path of Exile, $30 for early access. Boom. If you want to get a couple of bird looking pets, you can pay double that price. $60. If you want a bunch of armor packs and some like more extra pets and some decorations for your hideout, you can spend $100. It goes up from there to $160. How about $240? $480. How much do you want to spend on digital goods for a game in early access?
Didn't we just talk about how like we're not into the digital stuff because you're gonna play this game for now?
Yeah.
And then you're going to own something that you won't look at years from now. But you will
Yeah.
have lost that money forever now.
Yes. Like what I will never understand. I will never understand purchasing cosmetics. Like I get it. There's cool skins in this world. And I was just talking with a friend about this the other day who was like, yeah, I spent like over $1,000 on League of Legends just on skins. And I'm like, that's cool for you. And I'm happy you're happy. But I could never. Like, there's $20.
That's still around.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess. But like, even in Overwatch, like they had the new avatar pack of skins that came out for Overwatch 2. And
Was
those
that
are
the
all...
Diva skin you were talking about that you wanted?
No, there's a different Diva skin that is just super cool. And every skin that comes to Overwatch that I like is $20 or more.
Yeah, I hate that that's the base price.
Skin.
Like,
that's fucking crazy to me.
What about $5?
What about $5?
Would you consider $5?
I bought the Mercy pink skin for $10 because that was going to charity, and I was like, cool, and I can justify that.
Okay, but if it was $5 just to Blizzard for...
In 2016, I would have because I wasn't aware of what Blizzard has been doing.
Okay.
But yeah, these days, I don't think any amount of money. I just won't pay money to Blizzard.
Yeah. What about, okay, so a game that you enjoy, that you do like, if it was a $5 cosmetic,
and if it was like blowing my mind, yeah, I'd pay it.
Because like, so I told you that we've been playing like a little bit of Call of Duty, and I've fucking never really played Call of Duty a lot.
Yeah.
I actually said this last night because we were playing just last night, playing zombies, and I learned that you can prestige now at level 55 rather than 100, right?
Okay.
And I was like, I'm gonna prestige in call it. I almost fucking said Battlefield, a totally different game that I play a lot more of. But I was like, I've never prestiged in Call of Duty before. I might actually do that for the first time in my life. And some of the people playing are like, I'm about to do my third. You know, like, I was looking at some skins, but I've never played it this long. So, you know, now I'm like, oh, well, like, maybe I would on this one. But then I looked at the skins, and they were like $15. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't need to be a shark that bad.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I have bought skins not skins, because that's not what they're called. I bought cosmetic items for Swatter. Like, we spent a decent amount of money. I want to say like probably $50 on for both of us.
You guys played the fuck out of that game, though.
We did. We have hundreds of hours in that game and 8 characters each. So we bought some like loot boxes, and they were on sale. So we got like 100 loot boxes, both of us, for $50.
So I'm thinking about it different now. What about this? If you're going to spend hundreds of hours in a game, should you not enjoy what you're having to look at the whole time? Something that speaks to you. Like, it's not so much I have this digital thing. It's like I'm getting more peace of mind during these hundreds of hours of play that I'm putting in now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm coming around.
Yeah, because like, let's put it like this. What if I'm playing Call of Duty and there's only, straight white male models, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a gamer girl. Maybe I want a Hispanic lady to play as because I'm a Hispanic gamer,
Okay. Yeah.
That's a worthy cosmetic. You know what I mean?
I can see that. But
like a
in
gold
this specific
sword.
Scenario.
No. Okay.
In this specific scenario, I'm blaming the game on just having the male models.
Yeah. Exactly. I just like sold myself on cosmetics a bit.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of... I understand the appeal of cosmetics, and I don't blame people for wanting to buy them, but like, it makes me angry at myself when I buy them.
When I really want it, I don't feel bad because, I've told you, but I'll go ahead and admit it again. I've bought, I think one time, no, I don't think I ever did the $50 loot box pack.
God.
But I've done at least 3 20s before.
Man.
I did a 20 in a summer one time because I really fucking wanted the Grill Master Soldier. Yeah. And I didn't get it.
Man.
I didn't get it till the next year.
This is why loot boxes are predatory.
Yeah. But see, that's why they have to go, well, now that skin's $20 because you could spend 20 and maybe get it, or you can just spend the same amount but get exactly what you want instead of 18 other skins you didn't want.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it is worse value to me.
It is. Like, if I could buy, they do have for sale sometimes like a pack of 5 skins or whatever for a certain amount of money. I feel like maybe that's worth it if you like all the characters and all the skins. But like, as a person who plays one character in Overwatch, I'll never subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on Path of Exile. There's things that this game does right, and there's things this game does wrong. So off the bat, it's very fun. Like, you just get in and like, it's very easy to apply an ability and use it and learn it. And it's not one that you have to like think a lot about, but it's also not a game where you can just turn your brain off and hack and slash, because if you're not paying attention all the time, you will die. There's so much heat coming at you at all times from all different kinds of enemies. And that's one edge it has over the Diablo franchise, I think, is because Diablo enemies all just kind of do basically the same thing. Like, they run into and they hit you. And then the bosses are pretty much the same, like, cycle. There's some that have a specific ability, and it's pretty obvious by looking at them. Like, oh, that guy's going to light me on fire. Cool. But it doesn't make the boss battles much more interesting than if it just hits you.
Yeah.
So this game, they have different enemies that are doing different things all the time. So there's like ones that'll, I don't know, run up and explode on you. You have to like pay attention to, you have to pay attention to fucking everything in this game. Like, the environment does stuff, the enemies do stuff, the bosses will come up out of nowhere. There's just like so much happening all the time that I'm finding myself utilizing the dodge roll button between each ability, basically. Yeah. It's very much, I would call it Souls-like in that capacity, because especially for the bosses, like, you are learning their attack patterns, figuring out what kind of resistances you're going to need, what kind of loadout you're going to need going into it, and adjusting your character meaningfully to make the fight feel better.
Yeah.
and dodge rolling and dodge rolling and dodge rolling. So it's very cool. I love the combat. I don't love the loot system because the loot is so few and far between, and I'm like level 20 picking up level 1 loot for no reason at all because it's in a level 20 area. Yeah, I'm like, why do I need this lesser healing potion? I have a grand healing potion. This is fucking bullshit. Also, while you're picking up all this crappy little loot, your inventory is so small. And from what I can see, there's not a way to expand it at this point. So I'm really hoping they add like a backpack or something. Maybe that's for the people that paid $480 or something.
Yeah.
But okay, so the last thing I want to talk about with this game is the sheer amount of customizability when it comes to your character's abilities. So you're not customizing their face or their body, but you are customizing every single thing that you do and how you do it. So the skill system has 240 active skilled gems and 200 support gems, which are to say like different kinds of abilities that you can do. Like the archer can fire a fire arrow. He can fire an electric arrow. He can fire a multi arrow. He can do a dodge and slash. There's just like so many different kinds of skills that you can apply. And in addition to that, you have a passive skill tree. So in that tree, there are over 2,000 skills.
Good God. And I love passives because I don't have to think about them.
Yeah. And it really like makes you be able to fine tune your character. You can really specialize it. So my first character, I wanted to play the warrior so bad because that's my class. I play the big beefy. Yeah. Tank dude.
Love it.
And the warrior class is absolute paper. Like it's not good. He dies immediately when launching into battle. So I played for like I think an hour and a half with the warrior, and I looked at Richard and I was like, I'm not having fun. And he was like, let's start over with different characters because this warrior sucks. And we started over, and he tried a different character, I tried a different character, and we both found what we liked. So I started playing the witch character, which kind of operates as a necromancer.
Okay.
And it's very fun because you can raise all sorts of different minions and stuff. And in the skill tree, you have the ability to like, do you want your minions to have more life, or do you want them to hit harder? Or do you want your character to have the ability to raise more minions in general? Like there's so many different paths you can go. Do you want your minions to deal chaos damage or poison damage? Do you want to have the ability to call down spells from the sky? There's so many different ways you can take each character. And the whole skill tree is the same for all characters. So if you want your witch to operate like a warrior, then you can give her like 200% body armor or whatever. You can give her like tank ability. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff you can do. You can also do the same with the support gems. So like if I have a mercenary who's like a rogue basically, but I want him to operate like a monk and be a Fist of Fury kind of guy, then I can do all the monk skills on my warrior character. And just like you can interchange each and everything.
Okay.
It's so weird. I've never seen a game do this because like they give you the different classes and then they just say like have fun with it, do whatever you want with them.
Any abilities though,
do anything. And in addition to that, so each of the 12 character classes right now, they have the 6 character classes, and each of those has 2 what's called an ascendancy. But in the like full release of the game, they're planning the 12 character classes with 3 different ascendancies. So ascendancies, for example, are going to be like a different way you can specialize your character. So for the witch class, I think one of them was blood mage. So instead of using your mana for all of your attacks and stuff, you use your health pool. So you have to focus on your skill tree and be like, I need more health and I need more like resistance to damage and that kind of stuff. So it makes you think about like the different passes that you want to select and just how you can play your character in a different way. It's a very highbrow kind of game because you really have to be min-maxing at all times. Yeah. So it's fun. It's complex. It feels like it could be very good when they get to the final release, but I
Yeah.
really want to see them improve the loot system because my God, it's horrible right now. It's so bad. And like getting any kind of good loot is so few and far between. Like
Yeah.
I've picked up maybe 2 of the like god tier items and it's not enough.
You're like, they're not even much better.
They're not. And you can like, it's frustrating because I'm like a level 24 and I have level 5 gloves because I just haven't found any other gloves yet.
Okay.
So it's definitely in need of improvement on that front, in my humble opinion. But
Yeah.
otherwise, it's a pretty solid game, and I'm really enjoying playing it. Except for One Piece. Okay, I want to talk about this too. I said I
Okay.
had one last thing to talk about, but now I have more. There is, okay, in order to do your ascendancy, you have to pass a trial, which, sure, that makes sense.
Okay.
I hate this trial so much. I hate it with every fiber of my being. They call it the trial of the Sekemas. And what you do is like you get a relic and you go to this place, you offer it on the altar, and the door is open and you go into this place. And it's basically a 7 boss gauntlet. And you're getting
Okay.
through a fucking Indiana Jones style, like revolving flamethrower room. And there's like pads on the floor that are going to shoot environmental shit at you. And then there's also just a billion enemies going around that are freezing you and exploding you and doing all sorts of effects and damage.
Yeah.
And then you have to like get to a boss and kill a boss or solve a puzzle in a room while all this shit is happening or do a certain thing in a certain amount of time. And you have what's called honor and in addition to your health pool. So your health goes down as normal, but your honor goes down every single time you get hit.
Okay.
And you only have so much honor to last you throughout the entire 7 rooms. So you can't get hit more than like 10 times. And I'm like, how am I going to do that?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. And they put the ascendancy at level in Act 2, which Act 2 out of 5. Like, make it less difficult if you want people to pass it this early.
Yeah.
Or give me better loot, for God's sake. Like, let me find a pair of gloves that fit my character.
Like,
It's
maybe you're finding loot in the trial that then
Yeah.
when you restart it, now I'm a little better. Like, you're earning
Yes.
something. At least you're earning your way up to passing it.
yes, I
Instead
would
just
do
like,
that.
No,
Like,
you're done now.
if I'm getting stuff out of the trial, that would be great. But like every time you reset the trial, it resets your file. So you're not earning shit in there.
Yeah, see, that's stupid.
It fucking sucks. It's bad. It's not a good design. So we're kind of like stuck on that part right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just going to skip my ascendancy and just be a regular old person and just not be ascendant.
Yeah, I hate don't get hit challenges because
Yeah.
I always get hit. Like sometimes I get hit to open up a different maneuver later, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Some of the characters rely on taking damage to be like glass cannon, you know, the lower your health, the more your output is.
Yeah.
So it's very tough.
Yeah, because
And
when
I'm
you do
struggling
those,
with it.
you either play it in a way you would never play it, which makes it not fun,
Yes.
or you have to resort to like super cheap tricks that you go, well, this still isn't fun. Like
Yeah.
doing no hit stuff is not a lot of fun most of the time.
No, that's exactly it. It is unfun. So
Yeah.
that's my biggest gripe with the game right now. I think they need to really fix or fine tune that, make it different in a way that makes it feel like I want to get through the trial and not just skip it. Like I shouldn't be missing out on my ascendancy
Yeah.
because I simply don't want to.
Got to get in those forums and let them know.
Yeah.
See, I've never done any of that stuff where like you play a beta and then you go talk about it and then they change it. That happened one time. I played a beta for God of War's multiplayer that they had.
Okay.
And everyone in the forums, we started talking about how like we don't understand who this person is. Like, who's this person we're playing as in the multiplayer? It just doesn't, like, we're just random people. It would make sense if this happened. And then they put that in the actual game when it finally released.
See, that's cool.
Like, they added a thing that we talked about, and I was like, wow, actual noticeable change we made. And I've never seen that happen again. But I also never jump in those things anymore.
Yeah.
So
I love getting in a beta and getting in the forums. Like I've done that for a few games, most noticeably Manor Lords. Like the guy was in the
Okay.
Discord all the time being like, what do you guys like and what's the pain points? How do I fix it? And he would
Yeah.
do polls for the community. He's still doing it. Like, I can add this next, or I can add this, or I can fine tune that, or take this out entirely. Like, what do you guys want to see from this? And everyone votes, and they talk about it, and it's implemented. It's really cool.
that's awesome. I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
I've
Path
heard
of
about this
Exile
game a
2.
lot. I've heard about it a lot. I think probably just because of that long delay period.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this sounds so familiar, yet it's so old and new at the same time. Yeah.
I never played the first one or even heard of it, honestly. So this is my first foray and experience into the Path of Exile world,
Okay.
but I'm liking it.
Well, good. Well, with that, I want to go think about how to just better so many other things going wrong in
I
this
want to
world.
go queue up nicely.
Let's do that.
If you loved this episode, please tell a friend about us, because the word of mouth is the only way we get the good YMBToAP into brand new ears. Listeners of friends like yours. We release weekly every single Monday. If you want to talk to us, you can do that over on Discord. That link is in the show notes. It lives there. You just click on it and it takes you to our server in the little welcome mat. You can read our server rules, which are pretty simple. It's basically just be nice, don't be a dick, have fun. And come hang out and chat with us, because we like to get to know new people, and we have a really good community, and I enjoy it very much. So thank you, of course, to all of our listeners who are in the Discord or out of the Discord. We love you all so very much.
And don't forget, our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Faraj. Please check him out on YouTube, because we love him. We hope you love him too. He's got the best beats. And as always, thanks for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. When is Kelsey going to get a diagnosis?
But we had one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
I chickened out and didn't do a Nosferatu.
I wanted it so
there
bad.
At the end.
Oh.
I know, I thought about it. Oh. I'll splice one in later. Maybe.